Hey folks, this is Tom and FrugalPrepper. I'm wearing my Kalishnikova Classic t-shirt, taking a walk this morning. I gotta go to work today. It's July the 5th. We'll see what kind of remnants of all these fireworks are left from last night. Holy crap. It was crazy last night. We got some trash. I think I'm gonna walk this way. I'm doing a short walk again this morning because I'm getting started late. I'm about 40 minutes late, like 37 minutes late from when I normally take a walk. So I gotta, hurry it up and get to work. But I just wanted to get out and take a walk in the morning. Sun's about to come up over there. It's probably already up, but it just hasn't cleared the trees yet, But just out having fun. The traffic's a little busier this morning. I'll get off the main road here pretty soon. But yeah, it's a little bit later, so there's more cars driving. This road that I live on gets really busy. It's really annoying to back out of my driveway during the day. But, it is what it is. I own the house. Free and clear, so I'm staying there. No house payments. Yeah, it's been a real busy weekend. I had to do the church. Like I said, for those of you that know anything about Windows, they had a 2012 server. It had pretty well been just the guy who did it before or whatever, like they used to have more of a full-time guy, but I think he was younger and he was kind of learning, and then he moved on to a better job. He would learn all about system group policies and the domain, and he built hundreds of group policies and applied them to different users and containers. They were just a nightmare to try to work through, figure out what they were doing, disable them. We're talking about a network that has less than 20 users. So when I tried to put in the new 2022 server, I tried to link it up and make it a backup domain controller and transfer all the FMSO roles, and then demote the old one and remove it from the domain. And it just didn't go well. I could not get the sysvol, which is your net logon and all your group policies, to replicate. I tried. I had an MCSE friend of mine remote in and look, and he's like, "You're doing all the normal things to restart that replication, but it's not working. You're going to have to call Microsoft, and it's going to be expensive to open up an incident with them." So we just decided it was time to start over with a whole new domain, which involves a lot of work to make sure things go smoothly. And not the least of which is having to reset the HTTP, having to reset up your DNS, having to change your DNS on every device on the network that's statically assigned, and having to log into the computers and then reassign the SIDs on the profiles so that they can still have their same desktop. Just a lot of work. But I got it done. I had a couple problems on Monday, just rights assignments, because I had to redo the rights, redo new groups, reassign the rights, and I fixed those pretty quick. But I think everything's working, so I'm happy. And I really set it up so that it's going to be a lot easier to manage going forward. They had a lot of things wrong, like people giving full administrator permissions to the entire drive that had all the shares on it. Like crazy stuff like that. Because part of the server works for the church and the other part works for the school. So it's a lot of different permissions. I think we're good to go. I got it set up the way I like them set up for small medium networks. The way it's easy to administrate, figure out what's going on, everything's done right. I've learned a lot since I set up my first Windows NT 3.51 server. So that's done. And then I went ahead and built a new computer for their library. Not new, I took an old one that they had actually given me because they were going to throw it away. And they needed one for the library. So put an SSD in it. Windows 10 Professional activated fine with the Windows 7 license key. And put SSD, 8 gigs of RAM in it. It's running. So I got to get that set up for them. But yeah, that's all done. So yesterday we went over to Micro Center. My son had a laptop that he broke that he had the accidental damage protection on. So they gave us a card and we bought him a new laptop. And then I spent last night setting all that up. I run the Kaspersky Safe Kids to keep him off of the bad websites. Keep him from installing things that he shouldn't install, all that. I run the Kaspersky antivirus. I run the Kaspersky VPN. I run the Kaspersky password manager. I really like Kaspersky's products, actually. I didn't used to, but their products lately have really worked well, and they're really affordable. So I had to set all that up, and he's quite the graphical artist. So I had to restore all of his graphic art from his old laptop, and we set up a shared drive on my server for him to get to that. I set up a VPN for him, set up his email. I set up all of his Adobe programs, Illustrator, Photoshop, plus like 20 others. So he got in. They have a student edition of Adobe that you can get for $19 a month. And it includes every Adobe piece of software. They normally only sell it to college students. He got it when he started the 7th grade. And basically, we filled out all the form and paperwork. And they said, well, he's actually a little young. Would you mind sending us some samples of some of his drawings? So we did. And they said, that's no problem. You're going to get the $19 a month one. So they gave him the $19 a month special student edition that's for college students. So he gets every Adobe program, and he's actually really good at drawing. He's really good at hand drawing. He's really good with digital graphic art drawing. He's really good doing Photoshop, and really good with Adobe Animate too. So I think he's got a future there. I don't know exactly what he's going to do or whatever, but he's starting 9th grade next year. But he does require a faster laptop for that with a dedicated video card. So yeah, there's that. And this time I didn't buy the Micro Center extended warranty. Luckily they didn't yesterday, but often they'll be like, it's an hour and a half drive there from my house. And they'll be like, oh, we have to look at it for a few days and then we'll get back to you. So then you have to go back home and come back. Then they give you a gift card. Then you can buy your laptop. It was damaged so bad yesterday, they say, yeah, we're just giving you the gift card, but, and it's expensive. It's like $150 for 2 years. We got the Lenovo because a lot of people don't realize this, but Lenovo offers accidental damage warranties. They offer a 1-year standard warranty. To extend that accidental damage for the year was like $16. And you call them, say I broke my laptop, I dropped it, whatever. They will mail you a box, overnight you a box if you don't have one, or they'll send you just the shipping label. You overnight it to them, they fix it in a few days, they overnight it back. And that's only if you don't elect for the slightly more expensive warranty that's like $25 to have on-site service. So that makes a whole lot more sense. And you can go out and renew those extended warranties for up to 3 years. And they also, they're not as big into like, oh, we're just going to replace it, give you a gift card to buy a new laptop of some kind. They will fix it. I mean, no matter how bad I've had a customer damage a laptop, they have repaired it and sent it back. The exact same model. And Lenovo will leave your data alone if possible. They will leave the stuff on the hard drive alone. So you usually get it back booting up and working just like it did before. If they replace the motherboard, they change the serial number in the BIOS on the new motherboard to match. So everything works correctly. Your BitLocker encryption works correctly. All that works. So I really like Lenovo's accidental damage. Lenovo truly has world-class technical support. They're great. Dell used to have really good support, but Dell kind of sucks now. You know, and I'm running late to get to work, so I'm just gonna turn around and walk back. You know, I'm not even gonna go all the way around the block, but I just have to get to work soon. I could walk a little farther down this way. I'll walk a little farther down here. I haven't gone this way in a while. No. But yeah, your HP, their tech support sucks. Dell for the consumers is becoming increasingly Indian-based tech support, but Indian-based tech support isn't what it used to be. They speak much better English now, and they're much better at fixing stuff. So yeah, but you know, some places just have better support than others, and Lenovo's the best. But fun times. I also set him up a VPN connection on his laptop so he can connect to the house and get to his shared server drive when he's remote, if he needs to bring something up, if he's at school or whatever. And we're trying to get him started in Catholic Central School, which is the only really decent Christian-like high school. And I'm Lutheran, so I'm not that far off from Catholic. And they have, the majority of their students actually aren't Catholic. But we were told it was going to be like $1,600 difference between what his state, we have a thing here where you can choose your own education, and the state will pay a certain amount to a private school. Well, they charge more than that, so it's going to be $1,600 more. And now they sent us this payment plan thing, which I thought I'd just write them a check for $1,600. And they want $2,700, but then there's a $600 credit at the end, and they're closed, and we can't call them and find out what's going on. We got the pricing list on their uniforms. That's going to be several $100s to get enough uniforms for them. They only sell them through one place. And they only, it's like $45 for a shirt, you know. So we're actually thinking about sending him to like Clark Shawnee schools, which are pretty good. We're thinking, we're weighing our options. We're waiting to talk to them, but he may not be going to Catholic Central. It's just, not that I can't afford it, but that's a lot of money to spend. You know, I work hard for my money. I don't want to just give it away to people. But I'm gonna turn around here and walk back. So yeah, there's all that. And yeah, basically just taking it easy. I'm getting ready to go back to the work today, to the real job. Kind of sucks. I actually have somebody I'm talking to today at 11 about possibly a different job. So, you know, they're cheating me out of my mileage and screwing me over. You know, I'm a pretty good dog, but if you don't pet me every once in a while, eventually I'm going to go lay on somebody else's porch, you know. I don't know if I would like this other job or if it's a good fit. But they want to talk to me. I'm going to talk to them. They're a former customer from a long, long time ago, from like back in the 1990s. So we'll see. I'm still exploring other opportunities, other jobs. I really want to get to a job where I can work part-time, honestly, and have more time to do my car repairs and my side networking. I'm just looking at my options, but I like my job. I like the people I work with. I like the work, but I don't know. It just seems like there's never going to be an opportunity to move up or make any more money, and then they start screwing me out of my mileage so I don't make that money, and it's just might be time to move on. Hi, puppies. Oh, there's a cute little dog there. It's like a Labrador. Oh, there's another doggy over there. But you know, I'll just see what happens. On the, you know, carnivore diet, I'm doing well. I do have some questions about, like, what about my kidney function on meat? It's important to understand that the whole, oh, you can't eat meat because you're in kidney failure thing is pretty much a myth. A number of people who are in kidney failure do a strict keto or carnivore diet, and their kidney function actually improves. It never, like, seems to completely reverse, like kidneys completely heal, but they'll go from a stage 4 to a stage 3 or a stage 3 to a stage 2. And it kind of stabilizes. So that's important to realize. Eating protein does not hurt your kidneys. Another thing that's important to realize, eating protein doesn't cause gout. There's a good videos by Dr. Barry on both those topics. I won't go too far into it, but gout's an inflammatory condition that has nothing to do with you eating meat. And I had what I think was just the beginnings of some gout in my feet. I mean, I never got officially diagnosed with it, but yeah, that crap hurts. And I can tell you, I just had a very minor case of it. If it had gotten major, like, dying was like a good alternative. It just hurts and burns and hurts, and oh. Plus, I had the diabetic neuropathy, which burnt sometimes. You normally can't feel your feet except every once in a while when they feel like they're on fire. And then I had the plantar fasciitis. So the tendon in the bottom of my foot would tear and swell. Be like walking around on glass for days. So there's going to be a video on my backup channel too about how I got my prescription orthotic inserts way cheaper. And I did go see a podiatrist, but they wanted a bunch of money to make a custom one the same way this doctor in Springfield did. And the one I got from the doctor in Springfield never fit right. Makes my feet all lean weird and causes knee pain and hip pain and back pain. And they tried to adjust it several times. It never came out right. So I went back to my old podiatrist to get my old type of inserts made. And they used to sell Dr. Comfort shoes. They don't sell those anymore. They don't do those types. They just do the custom prescription orthotic things. So I decided to go to Dr. Comfort's website. And I found they sell the same exact kit that my old podiatrist used to make my inserts. They're the same color. They're the same everything. They have the same three pairs of them they send you. Except they only want $129 for the kit. My old podiatrist charged me $600 or $700 plus the cost of the shoes, and they marked the shoes up like by double. So I'll have a video up on my backup channel about that. If you have the high arches and you need some custom inserts, I would say that's a good way to go. Because in my insurance, they have schemes. Like normally, your insurance will pay for your diabetic shoes. But now my insurance company was like, well, we can't prove that he's still diabetic. And I'm like, well, I've been diabetic for 20 years. What do you mean you won't pay for it? Well, you're not on any prescription medication for it, and you haven't had any blood work lately. And, well, who's your primary doctor? I'm like, my primary doctor dropped me. I don't have one. So they're just like, yeah, we're not paying for him. So humid out again. But, it is what it is. They did pay for a little bit of the podiatrist. The podiatrist only charged me like $20 for my x-rays, or something like crazy. I wish the regular hospital only charged that much. But it is what it is, So I just paid for it myself. That's why, health insurance just becomes increasingly useless to me. You pay people a bunch of money in case bad stuff happens. And then when bad stuff happens, they say we don't pay for the bad stuff. Sorry. And meanwhile, they're driving around in their Porsches and living in their multi-million-dollar houses. That doesn't seem right to me. And, you can say, oh, we need government health care, but government mismanages everything. They don't do anything well. It's just the nature of the beast. So, yeah. There's that. I think we'd be better off to just not have health insurance, have the hospitals do things for reasonable prices, and make payment plans with people or something. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy. And the fact that you can buy health insurance on your own, it's going to be 4 or 5 times as expensive as getting it through an employer. So that makes it really hard if you want to become self-employed to still have insurance. Canadians don't have to worry about that, I guess. But yeah, sun's up. Woo. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So we switched to this self-insured thing at work. Or the company's paying for it all, but it still goes through like Anthem or somebody, and they still have all these rules as to what they're paid for. And every year they tell you, oh, the insurance is going to get better. It's going to cost a little more, but it's going to get better. It gets worse and it costs way more every year. Covers less. I mean, I remember 20 years ago, my son fell off his bike, broke his finger, take him to the hospital. I was out $100 for everything. I only got a bill for $100, which was my copay. I drove a spike into the side of my knee and went to the hospital. By the time I finished paying for all the different bills from all the different doctors and all the different hospitals that looked at my x-rays and did everything, I was at like $3,700. I'm still paying off some credit card debt from that. So obviously health insurance is useless. I would be better off to just be like, yep, just put it on my credit. Put it on my credit report. And then wait a couple years and be like, well, I'll settle it for 25%. And just be, do it that way. I don't really need the credit. I mean, I don't use the credit. I mean, I do have a couple credit cards, but once you have them, they're not taking them away, at least not mine, because they're through credit unions, They're not through big mega banks. But small credit unions, that's who I like to do business with. Although I do business with one larger credit union because they have a really good interest rate, so all my savings money is with them. But yeah, fun times. Well, I'm getting close to being back home. I'm going to go take a shower and change my clothes and get to work. I ate one hamburger patty this morning because I woke up and I was like, man, I'm hungry. I just ate, yesterday I ate a couple pounds of beef brisket with a lot of fat, and I did have to take some ox bile because I started feeling pretty nauseous. Like 5 or 6 hours after I ate it. And I had a lot of fat. And then this morning I woke up a little bit hungry, so I had a hamburger patty. I probably won't eat again until tonight. And I'll probably have 3 or 4 pounds of chuck roast tonight. I'll give a pound or a half pound to the dog. And I'll be happy again until tomorrow night. That's how it works. All right, sun's up. I'll see y'all later. It's Tom, your Frugal Prepper.